the previous podcast, we talked about the visit of Meghan Markle and her husband Harry, which I said it was a good PR for Nigeria. It was great to have them visit the country, But one of the things that was shocking during the visit of that trip was that Meghan said that she's partly Nigerian. So she did an ancestral DNA test, which is a new thing if you've not heard it before, but it's been around for some time now. So she took the test, the DNA ancestral test, where you get to check your ethnicity and your genealogy, which confirms your roots, all parts that you're connected to, So she did it, and she said she was about 43% Nigerian. Now, I'm not sure about the statistics. You can check that up yourself. But she said, if I can remember properly, 43% Nigerian. Now, I was wondering, why would she publicly say she's Nigerian? In 2024, could you imagine that someone from the royal family would publicly say they are from Nigeria? What don't we know about? What is happening? Remember, in one of my videos, I said we would hear a lot of things. You should go back to watch my previous podcast. So yeah, she said that on TV, and after that trip where she had said some good things about Nigerians and showed her excitement about being Nigerian, some other negative media came online about her charity movement and stuff like that. It's all about British, has nothing to do with Nigeria. But I just felt that the fact that she said that publicly, that she was partly Nigerian, just made some other negative news to come up about she and her husband's charity movements. But moving on from that, a lot of people have been coming out to say that they are partly from this route, they are partly from this country, they are partly from space, from Pluto, things like that. There's even this show that they do ancestral DNA test. So I think that this show already, because I see it on YouTube, I watch it on YouTube, I think that they have an app, probably a credible app, where you would take your tests, get it done. So prior you seeing the results, I think they would invite you onto the show, so they go through the results with you. So what they do is just Hollywood actors that come on the show. So a couple of times that I've watched the show, I've heard a lot of stars, a lot of celebrities say they're from so and so roots. They are related to they discovered that they are related to once a slave master. So there's a whole lot of history that this app brings out, and then the host kind of go through it with them, and then you get to see the excitement, the shock, at discoveries about their roots. So if this is for real and it is here to stay, obviously there would be the negatives and there will be the positives. Let's start with the positives. The thing where they said to know yourself, to discover yourself, you have to go back to the beginnings. You have to go back to your roots. You have to start from where you came from. And how do you do that? Okay, for a lot of evolved civilizations, I'm talking about America, England, Europe, many of the issues that the society of this kind of civilization face is identity crisis, loss of identity, loss of self, confusion, not knowing who you are, not knowing your roots, things like that. We watch it in movies, we see it on social media, we see it online. The symptoms of crisis like this, suicide. Okay, so for issues like that, this DNA test can help, because you get the test done, you can know your roots. Let's say, for instance, you're from Somalia. For instance, you're from there. After you get your DNA test done, your ancestral DNA test, you check that the history of your genealogy is also part of Persia, is also part of Uganda, those kind of things. So I guess the higher the percentage is, the more you know how much of your genes are from there. And what do you do with this is for you to start knowing, okay, now getting deeper. If you're from Somalia, what tribe exactly from Somalia you're from? What is the name of the tribe? Now, the tribe, how many clans are there in a tribe? How many sectors? How many languages do a clan speak? Do they speak just one language, or they have multiple dialects in one language? Those are a lot of things you have to now know, like filter. Then you get to the one that the history of your gene started from. So you check, what is this tribe made of? What do they know? What is their tradition? What was their culture? What did they believe in? How did they see life? How did they live? What was success to them? What was the family dynamics? What do they think about self? What do they know about believing in yourself, knowing who you are? How does it align with their spirituality? That kind of thing. From there, you've already discovered a whole lot about you. Because if you're connected to the 30th generation of your lineage, so imagine how long and far away that is, and how the people would have dispersed, like how people would have migrated onto different civilizations, start a new life in different lands, on different places. So over time, definitely things can get lost in time. So if this ancestral DNA test is for real, it's a good thing. Imagine the vast information you have of yourself, your connection to, maybe if we can, to the beginning. Maybe that's just a wild dream, but because it's too far gone to really get to the end. But there's nothing impossible with the human mind, nothing is impossible with the human mind, for sure. That one we can attest. So now there's a lot of knowledge to yourself that you know about when you find this thing. And one of the things they say, when you want to know yourself, you need to know the meaning of your name. Okay, now your name is Amanda. What does Amanda mean in Old English? Now, what does Amanda mean in this new tribe you found? Stuff like that, because the ancient believed that your name is your identity. You're named after your identity. So names have meanings, and they're not just ordinary. They have deep messages embedded in names. So that's why you have to be careful the name you call yourself, or the name you allow people to call you. Anyway, that's just a tip. That's just a side note. So these are some of the positives that this DNA thing this DNA thing can do for the society. Another thing I feel that another positives of the ancestral DNA test is the fact that I feel over time, on the long run, is going to maybe reduce racism a whole lot. That's one topic that I just feel that it's not there. But then when you go out into the world, you actually see it happen right in front of you, and you're wondering that why. So I feel that this is something that can help with that. So imagine you've always hated a particular tribe of people. You just hate them not because they are a kind of way, there's not in alignment. You just hate them for the fact that they're not from your country, they don't speak your language, you guys don't believe in the same thing. What that person know, you claim not to know, and it's none of your business. You judge based on this criteria I just talked about. That's racism. And then now you get to do this DNA test, and you see that maybe about 60% from your test is of that tribe. What would you do now? It's just going to show that you've always just hated yourself, which is the true reason or the root cause of racism. It is not the next person you hate. Sometimes we have cases where this kind of people I just described, they are a whole lot found in one country. Then now you go like, oh, I don't like these people from country A. It's still not racism. It's not your fault if all of them you've met happens to be like that. But it's not about the country as a whole. It's about a large set of human beings from that place that you've come to know their behavior. But still, not a room to generalize. You still try not to generalize because you haven't met everyone in a said country. So that's one of the positives I feel that the DNA ancestral test will do. I really don't know how real it is. I don't know if it's genuine because I haven't done so much research on it yet, which I would get more details in the continuation of this podcast next week, inshallah. I will get more details on it. But if it's your first time hearing about it, you should read more about it. I don't think that people lower than average income, people who earn like lower than the average people, would be able to afford this because it's all technology. I think the apps you pay for them to get like a really credible one, you probably have to pay for a subscription for you to get it done. So I don't know if it concerns people who are still living in a small village, still in agricultural civilization. I don't think it concerns them. Instead, it concerns the people more in the cities who would now trace their route back to those guys in the agricultural age in 2024. If you get what I mean, because history kind of clash, industrial age, digital age, manufacturing age, agricultural age, all is still being practiced right now. Everything happening everywhere all at once. If it's your first time watching, you're welcome. It's great to have you here. And thank you for being here, for watching. Now, let's go to my movie of the week. Hey! The movie of my week is Ultraman. Ultraman is animated. The reason why I enjoyed that animation was the fact that the story was about someone who had two lives, someone who had the weight upon his shoulder to follow his purpose, which is heavy, and at the same time follow what he likes, what he has found interesting. So there was like a clash with what he's doing professionally and what he does behind the scene, which is his purpose, saving the world, that kind of thing, superhero. So yeah, that's Ultraman, animation on Netflix. My second movie of the week is Thelma the Unicorn, also animated and also on Netflix. I love the story for the reason that Thelma wanted to make it. She just wanted to be heard. She was tired of rejection. She wanted to do all it takes to just have people listen to her doing what she loves the most. Then an opportunity came that changed her life. So she grabbed the chance. She grabbed the opportunity to make the best out of it. But at the end of the day, she realized that. What did she realize? She realized that she can be whoever she wants and keeps doing whatever she likes doing. And either ways, with time, the people who love what she does would gravitate towards her. Anyway, there's more lessons to learn, but in summary, and not to mess it up for you, I will just say it that way. So yeah, Thelma the Unicorn on Netflix. 2 animation movies were my movies of the week. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for always watching. See you. Bye.